What the fuck is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is so damn time to get this shit going. Welcome to Gridiron Junkeez. Woo! All right, what a fucking intro. Austin has got me hyped up behind the decks. Austin is my engineer for today's show. He said beforehand, we got to set the vibes right in here. He started playing LT highlights. So if you catch me just drifting off, I'm watching LT just shit on every defense in the early 2000s as he went on to rush for multiple rushing titles. And I mean, Austin, do you think he's like the greatest running back of all time? Obviously you feel that way.
Well, yeah, I'm biased, but obviously the records hold up.
He even would throw he's getting face mask there. It didn't even matter, dude. He would drag defenses for however many yards he fucking wanted to. But anyways, back into this, right? This is what this show is going to be. It's going to be a whole lot of football. Gridiron Junkeez was stemmed from me just saying, all right, I like having a show that I can call my own. I am a part of the Sticky Podcast. I'm the producer of many, many, many podcasts here at Sticky Paws. So I just felt the need to do my own show, and that's going to be Gridiron Junkeez, the thing I know and love best. I grew up seeing my dad be a head football coach for many years here in Las Vegas, and that inspired me to then go on and play football. I went on to coach football after playing at UNLV for a little bit. I coached at Las Vegas High School out here for Eric Capetillo. He's been in the studio a couple of times. He's the head coach of Las Vegas High School still, and that is the place where I announce football now every Friday. So football has been a part of my life for a very, very long time, and it's going to continue to be a part of my life forever now since I signed a lifetime contract here with Sticky Paws. So if I don't have a show every football season 3 times a week, recapping the NFL, local high school football, and college football, they get to like steal Cameron from me. And I can't imagine Austin, taking Cameron from me just because I didn't do a goddamn podcast about something I love. So I'm going to avoid all that. I signed the lifetime contract because I'm not afraid to do that shit. And you guys are going to be getting this for the rest of my life. I shit you not. Like, this is episode 1 of what could be possibly like 25,000. No exaggeration. That's the plan here. So if you don't like this episode, then you can just wait for me to release the next episode, which will be on Thursday. I'm recording it Wednesday, and it'll be coming out on Thursday, where we're going to start covering some more of the college football scene. I like to save college football for the middle of the week when people are bored as shit and we can just talk about it on your long drive. Then on Fridays, or in this case, I'm recording Friday, I'm going to release it Saturday, we're going to start covering some picks and predictions. I'm not going to spend too much time on the preseason. I want you all to know that. My goal is early on here to bring in some guests just to highlight the whole world of football. I plan on having guests from all over the world. It doesn't matter. I'm going to find Zoom guests, players playing Division III, people in the NFL. I know we have plenty of connections to get the wide range that you people might like or you might not like, but I'm going to do it anyways to build my network. But regardless, that's kind of the breakdown. This show is going to be coming out a lot. We're going to be doing college football, local high school sports, and NFL. Not to mention, I'm going to be traveling a shit ton. So my goal is to make a lot of TikTok clips, Instagram clips, YouTube short type stuff from me going to all these tailgating type events. We live and record out of Sticky Paws Studios in Las Vegas, Nevada. Yes, I do say I do live here. It's kind of bad. Austin, we live here? Like, kind of?
We do have beds in the back, so yes.
Rent-free, kind of. We do be living here. But beyond that, I will be staying here extra long to make sure that all you guys get up-to-date information from what I saw at the tailgates to then the recaps of the next day. You aren't going to have to worry about that. We got it all covered here. And we're going to do a lot of crazy shit, too, with these Raider fans. They're pretty fucking insane. I've been to a couple of Raider tailgates back in Oakland, and then I've only been to 2 out here in Vegas. The ones out in Oakland get way crazier because there's less police presence. But now that they're here in Las Vegas, there's a little more police presence, but it gets pretty fucking wild. And I plan on getting some cool interviews, like with some of the biggest fans from the Raiders, and then getting a couple of Raiders in here themselves, starting with Derek Carr and Devontae Adams. Those are on the must-have lists for me. I'm going to be traveling a lot to see my brother who plays football at San Jose State. He is going to be the starting left tackle this year for them. I am so insanely proud of that kid. Now he's given us the opportunity to take this show across the country. So one of the tailgates that I'm going to be hammering home on September 10th is the Auburn versus San Jose State game. After recapping how crazy those fucking Auburn fans get, then I'm driving 2.5 hours up to see the Saints play the Falcons week 1. I plan on getting some like media credentials for that so I can pull some interviews with some of the players. I do know one of the coaches for the Falcons, so I'm pretty sure it's hopeful that we get some interviews, hopefully too with Marcus Mariota. If I can sneak in a Marcus Mariota interview there, that'd be pretty big time, even for a couple of seconds. Hey, Marcus, come here. So how do you make the best spam musubi? That's what everyone would want to know from the Flying Hawaiian. But yeah, I feel like I've given you guys plenty to go off of here as just like a breakdown of what to expect. Once we come back from halftime, yes, there is a halftime. Once we come back, I'm going to be giving you some of the fantasy football names, top fantasy football names you guys should be using this year, as well as predicting the AFC West. See you after halftime. All right. The halftime vibes are joint. Bam, 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 bam. It's halftime. Okay, I have a nifty little play call sheet here, and so I put my show flow in there so I wouldn't forget. Had mad nostalgia. If anybody's ever tried to put paper into these things, they know it's pretty fucking impossible. And it's so funny to see like your offensive coordinator, your defense coordinator in high school, like fucking struggling with a pair of scissors, like, an hour before game time because none of the fucking bands are fitting and kids don't know how to fold them. And it's kind of fucking hilarious. So if you've ever had to try to put something in this band, Austin, have you ever tried to put something in one of these bands? Like, no. We got to I want you just to test it out so you can see how tough it is. Because not to mention, you also put these bands through a washing machine because they smell like dog shit after every game because you get hella sweaty. And then they get all crinkly just like this. And it gets tough. It gets tough, needless to say. If you've ever had to put one in
now, if you're Derek Carr, I'm assuming you don't have to put it in. Somebody puts it in for you.
No, that's the equipment manager now struggling with the scissors. But yeah. No, Derek Carr, he stopped using the kid scissors a while ago. He still might use kid scissors. Here's a question for you, Austin, and then we'll go into the top 3 fantasy football names to have this year. Does Derek Carr wear mascara? Yes or no?
Oh, 100%. It's almost like if he doesn't wear it, he's not going to play at his best.
He definitely gives me like mad rocker vibes. I know nobody's eyelashes are like that dark. You know what I mean? And you used to be in a rock band. He has noticeably dark it has to be eyelashes. And I think he colors them like before the game and shit.
Black and silver?
Silver and black, baby. Silver and black, just the way Al Davis would have wanted it. Just win. All right. Off of Derek Carr's fucking ugly eyes. Seriously, check that out next time you have the chance. Look at Derek Carr's mascara eyes. We're going to cover the top 3 fantasy football names that you need to have this year, starting off with number 1. Number 1 comes from Deshaun Wants Some Happy Endings. That's a good one. Deshaun Wants Some Happy Endings. It's instead of Watson, we substitute that with want some, and then happy endings is implied that he was actually, being a rapist in a NFL type sense. But beyond that, we're going to move on to number 2. The second name that you need to be using this year in fantasy football is Steeler Virginity. It is one. It's a type of fantasy football name that, you know, if you're above 40, you can't have. If you're in your 20s, it's very okay too, because that's like a college-esque, hey, yeah, bro, we're in college. And then, you know, your buddy's talking about that one girl he's trying to slay. Why don't you steal her virginity? So boom, steal her virginity is the second fantasy football name. And the third fantasy football name that we're going to go with, since I'm a Saints fan, I know I'm wearing a fucking Alex Leatherwood jersey right now, but I'm a Saints fan. The third fantasy football name is Jameis Winstoned. So instead of Jameis Winston, it's Jameis Winstoned, because you lose stoned, you win stoned. That's my motto.
I've got an honorable mention.
Go ahead.
For your list. I used this in 2013, back when the Chargers were really good in the first half, so I called myself the San Diego Half a Charge.
San Diego half a charge, because they're only really good half the season anyways, as we can see
or even
last year.
just half the game.
That too.
That's what I was referring to. Is they were usually good the first half, and then the second half we were like, we'll let the backups come in.
Okay, that's not a bad name. Now that's like a very PC name. I will say, like, how old were you when you made that name?
I think I was a junior in high school.
Ooh, okay. So you still weren't going
but
like
I've been in some work leagues, so that might be a good work league name.
That could be a good work league name. I have always been in leagues where we go with like insanely inappropriate names. Although, okay, I'll give you a PC one that I used when I drafted Lamar Jackson, first pick overall. Fucking sue me, all right? I fucking drafted a quarterback first pick.
No. Oh, is that not a thing? Because I won $200 in a league by doing Josh Allen first round.
It's so sometimes it works. It's a, you know, you need a mobile quarterback, like somebody who can get you the running back points, but then also give you the quarterback passing yard, you know, points. So I picked Lamar Jackson up first round, and my team name was the Lamar Action Jacksons, which was pretty good. And I like had a picture of him, like what the hell is his name? Is it Samuel L. Jackson? There was Action Jackson. I think so. Yeah. Austin's shaking his head back. He's doing some research back there for me. But anyways, Austin, don't do research on that. The team name that I had last year it's a shout out to the Chargers too. I had Justin Herbert and the Rainbow Sherberts. That was my team name. Because it was like, you know, pride movement, you know, ooh, yeah, Justin Herbert kind of looks like a queer a little bit. He has a haircut. Justin Herbert has a haircut that looks a little feminine.
No, it's just the beach vibes, dude.
Yeah, sure. Beach vibes. And then Justin Herbert has really bad like acne too. Like
he's like 19.
I'm surprised.
I mean, he's 21 now, but yeah.
Is it this year that we see Proactive commercials sponsored, like with Justin Herbert as like the sponsor athlete?
I hope so. Get that boy paid.
Yeah, got to get him that Proactive. So anyways, that's the top 3 fantasy football names. I'm going to cut that into a TikTok clip. So, and I'm going to remove that I called Justin Herbert a queer. So like I can keep saying queer. That was bad. On to the AFC West predictions. Now, the AFC West, in my opinion, is the most star-studded, difficult league to win this year. And so I was wearing the jersey this morning and I was like, all right, what do I do for a segment to start off the show? It's the pilot episode, but let me go with something a little hard-hitting. The current odds to win the AFC West have the Raiders at plus 650 to win the league, or to win that division, which means you put $100 down on them today, you win $650 sometime in December when the NFL season's over. I believe the NFL season ends like New Year's Eve. So like first week of January, you can go cash in a $650 check if, the Raiders do win. I found that to be absurd for a couple of reasons. One, because I've been to a couple of Raider games here in Las Vegas. Allegiant Stadium has been rocking. It's been amazing. I was there Monday night when they beat, the Monday night football game when they beat the Chargers to make it to the playoffs. And yes, I'm going to talk about how fucking shitty the Chargers are a lot on this podcast. So you better be ready for it, Austin. He won't be the engineer for everyone, because once we start talking about the Chargers too much, he might start to cry back there.
I don't know. There's a Chargers helmet here in the set.
I had to, because today we're talking about the AFC West predictions. So back to the AFC West predictions. They have the Raiders currently predicted to finish last. Then the next team is the Broncos. The second place team to finish in the division would be the Chargers, and they think that the Chiefs are going to win it all. So I'll run down the odds there. If you pick the Chiefs to win the division today, you're going to be winning at plus 160 odds, Chargers at plus 250 odds, and Broncos at plus 260 odds. So the thing that throws me off, Austin, is that there is a significant leap between the Raiders at plus 650 and the Broncos at plus 260. Now, I think people have been a little too high on the Broncos. You know, Broncos Nation, let's ride. Broncos Nation, let's ride. Broncos Nation, let's ride. People are too high on Broncos Nation. They shouldn't ride. I would not ride on Broncos Nation whatsoever. It's kind of like a prove me type situation. I'm not saying Russell Wilson can't like single-handedly will that team to a playoff spot, because I do think 3 teams out of this division will win or will be in the playoffs. One will win 2 wild card spots.
Now is the one that's not going to be in the Chargers?
Yes. Okay. So you're expediting the conversation, but I will get there. They put the Chargers at plus 250, and it's not that the Chargers weren't there. I was there that Monday night football game. Okay. Justin Herbert, the bright lights. Okay. You had Adam Amin in the ESPN commentator booth. You had fucking Peyton and Eli like fucking eating popcorn, commentating on their own. It was a huge game, and I watched the Chargers just fucking implode in front of my eyes. And I think experience helps them. So Justin Herbert being in year 2, I can't help but to think that kid's going to get better. But what I do know is that very rarely does this happen in sports, Austin, where you can have like record-setting performances from multiple players in a year. The Raiders had that last year. The Raiders had Hunter Renfrow, and they had Darren Waller go for over 100 receptions, with Hunter Renfrow fucking breaking the record. But nobody wants to like put him in the top 5 receivers because of what reason? What reason? I think everybody out there knows the reason why he's not going to be in the top 5. We'll leave it blank. It's just a white statement I threw out there. A blank white statement that I'm tossing out there as to why Hunter Renfrow wouldn't be put in the top 5 receivers. But anyways, you had 2 people last year that crushed it. You had Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, Derek Carr's playing out of his mind. You had Josh Jacobs doing his thing. And now you're adding in somebody else who goes and has a 100-yard receiving season of his own, 100-yard reception season on his own, in Devontae Adams. You can't help but to think that team's going to score more points. And if anything that I've seen the Raiders like need help with, at times it's been like, damn, they just don't score enough. You know, their defense is keeping them in it. I am a huge fan of Max Crosby. I think their secondary is their weak spot, but I think if you have a good front 7, you can win a lot of games in this league. All that being said, I don't feel the same way about the Chargers. I don't feel like the Chargers added anybody that makes me terrified of them. I'm a little over Austin Eckler too. I think people have kind of figured him out, and it's a what have you done for me lately kind of league. Not saying he didn't have a decent year last year, but that year before was like the, oh my God, it's the fucking Austin Eckler show. And then we fucking go into this year and it's like, oh, well, you know, the luster is kind of worn off on him. So if we're talking who I think will be last, you said the Chargers yourself, which can't believe a fan themselves would put the Chargers last.
I have, in the 25 years I've been alive, they've never once been to the Super Bowl.
You're correct.
They went 3 years before I was born.
So if the Chargers went to the Super Bowl this year, let's make a little friendly wager right now between me and you. If the Chargers make it to the Super Bowl, I will cut my hair into a side, like just a full mohawk. Like I will go bald on the sides. Like I won't even fade it in to look cool. I'll just go full mohawk. If the Saints make it to the Super Bowl this year, what will you do for me?
I would have to be dressed up in Saints attire. Like I only own Chargers attire, so now I would have to.
Can we body paint a jersey on you?
Oh my
Yes. Okay, so
Only if it's a Reggie Bush Saints.
we'll do that.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll body paint a Reggie Bush Saints jersey on you. I'll pay out for the airbrush tattoo or whatever the fuck. However, we'll do this. And no. We'll just have you like stand out in front. Oh, we'll pick this out. I like that idea though, but we got to find a good location to get content from this. That'll be the second thing. And the strip sounds awful appealing. Like, hey, I lost a bet to my friends on Fremont. Actually, we'll do it on Fremont Street. I lost a bet. I thought the Saints weren't going to make it to the Super Bowl, and they did. So I have to hold this sign and cheer and pretend to be Reggie Bush.
I don't think I can run that fast.
But we'll make highlight. I'll set up like cone drills and shit for you. So like in your painted on jersey, I'm going to get to see you do football drills. This is happening. Okay. Back to the AFC West conversation. I do think the Chargers will finish last. I think the Broncos are going to finish third. And I want to, we've like ignored the fact that the Chiefs have been there like repeatedly and they know what the fuck is going on. But I think people are starting to figure out the Chiefs too. And if you watch the Super Bowl versus the Buccaneers a couple of years ago, you'll see that beating the Chiefs isn't that difficult as long as you're playing four people over the top at all times. You take everything away deep. You play up on everything short. Teams in the NFL still like to challenge that at times. And I think after 4 years of watching the Chiefs do it over and over and over again, they said, okay, I think it's a reinvention year. They send Tyreek Hill out because they're like, okay, people are starting to figure out that we just run that guy deep and we just play three flies up. Now they're reinventing themselves. So I'm excited to see a better run game from them, but that equates to less points. So if I'm looking at the Raiders and the Chargers, they're going to play twice. Chiefs, Raiders and Chiefs this year. They're going to play twice. I do see the Raiders taking the home game here at Allegiant because of how electric it gets there. And out in Arrowhead, that'll be the determining factor between who gets first or second. I'm going to play the odds here, though, because I have to. After seeing the Raiders at plus 650, it's worth the $20 bill to even get $300 at the end of the season right now. Those numbers are going to shift. You're going to see 650 jump to plus 300 after like week 2 in the season. So if you don't hop into this now, you're going to miss the boat. You have to put in the Raiders at plus 650 to win the division. Get the Chiefs coming in second. I do think if the Chiefs and the Raiders met again in the playoffs, like a fucking third matchup, it's tough to beat teams 3 times. So if the Raiders took the first 2 to win the division, then I see the Chiefs taking it in the playoff time. But why even go there that early? Just know that the fucking Chargers are going to be at Cancun come January 1, probably even earlier. Here's the thing that last thing I'm going to leave on the AFC West because I want to insert a segment here. We're going to do a segment called 2-minute drill that'll like wrap up the show. But anyways, my last little segment about this show, 2-minute drill, is what happens if Justin Herbert gets injured. Like, do you even know who your backup quarterback is? Is a question.
Keenan Allen. No, he's down in the roster somewhere because we got rid of the guy that was our original starter, right?
Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, didn't we get rid of him?
Yeah, after you guys injected him with poison.
No, he fucking punctured his lung.
You guys poisoned him.
Yeah, and look what happened. We were keeping up with Kansas City in a rookie game. Absolutely.
All right. Well, Austin, I think that's enough football junkies for one day. It doesn't matter if I say, hold on, I'm going to say it one more time. It's going to take me some time to get used to Gridiron Junkeez. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for Gridiron Junkeez. Please stay tuned for all of our social medias to get created here. I just woke up this morning and said, I need to start this show today because if I don't start today, I'll never do it. So I got to create all the Instagram, TikToks, YouTubes, whatever. All that stuff will be there when you guys are ready to dive in to the world of Gridiron Junkeez with George Carmona. Thank you.